Whether or not you like it, the subway in New York is an essential part of the city. And if you visit New York, you're probably going to have to use it.
You couldn't have the city without the subway system.
This is my friend Beau, who's been living in the city for the last 8 years. And to illustrate this point, we decided to race each other from the J Street station in Brooklyn to the Union Square station in Manhattan. Good luck, soldier.
Adios. Let's go.
I would take the train and he would use a rideshare app.
We got our charge, $27. Kind of a lot. For Beau. Thank you, sir.
The subway I'm riding on opened in 1904 and quickly became one of the biggest underground train networks in the world. The modern footprint of New York City's subway system was largely set in place by 1970 or so. This is also when we got the first version of today's map of the subway system. I'm under the water right now.
So Daniel's already in Manhattan. I haven't made it to the bridge yet, but maybe we'll make up some time on his transfer.
You can't beat the views.
I feel like I could have beat him. I am at Union Square. Okay, Beau, where are you? I think I've got him beat.
I appreciate it. Have a great day, man.
You as well, my friend.
He's gonna be coming off of NQR, just gonna be over there.
I see him. I see him.
My ride was peaceful, but you beat me. No, clearly I was tracking you the whole time. I was like, damn, he's gonna beat me.
How much did it cost you?
26 plus tip, so $30.
In this race, I not only beat him by a couple of minutes, but I spent literally a tenth of the price.
You can't have X million number cars here.
While it's gotten a lot harder to expand the actual system itself, the Metro Transit Authority, or MTA, have tried to make some improvements, like the new Omni payment system they've been transitioning to that you saw me use at the beginning of this race. I want to update you on that, but first let's break down how you can read this complex-looking map. If you've never seen this before, it can look like a complicated mess that seems impossible to understand, but it's not too tricky. So let's just boil this down to the basics and look at only the lines. The first thing you might notice is that each line has its own color. So let's just take the red line and look at only this for a second. This is called the 1, 2, 3 line because the 1 train, 2 train, and 3 train all go along this main route. Each line, by the way, will be named with either numbers or letters. This one, for example, is the 456, and this one is the ACE. But back to the 1, 2, 3. You'll notice that on each end, the red line branches out in different directions. These square labels at the end of each line mean that's the end of the line for that train. The 1 train follows this route, the 2 train follows this route, and the 3 train follows this route. So what's the difference between each of those trains on this portion of the track? Some of the trains will run as express trains and other trains will run as local trains. The black dots show where the local trains will stop and the white dot with the black outline shows the express stop. So along this route, the 1 stops at every stop, while the 2 and 3 trains only stop at these. Once they branch off, like right here, for example, the 2 becomes a local train for this section, stopping at every stop. On the maps posted in the subway, you'll be able to see which trains stop at each stop. This concept applies to basically every line on the map, so suddenly all of this doesn't seem so scary. Okay, I need you to listen close. Gravel is giving away $500 worth of travel gear. My friends at Gravel, who make really awesome travel gear, they make duffel bags, they make a toiletry bag that I've been using this entire trip that is a huge upgrade from the one I've been using for the last 10 years. They heard that I'm making this new series of map explainers on my channel. They wanted to support me, and so they're giving away $500 worth of their gear to one of you who subscribes to this channel, likes this video, and comments on it. That's literally all you have to do. They just wanted to support me. They make awesome stuff. Their link is gonna be at the top of the description, so go look around on their site and see what stuff could be yours. They are also providing an affiliate link with me, which is that one in the description. So if you just wanna support me, then buy something from Gravel, get yourself something nice, and it'll help you and me. This is gonna go to the end of October. I will announce whoever gets it. It'll be just a random subscriber who's commented on this video on November 1st. Best of luck, and thank you again, Gravel. Go check out their stuff. But how do you actually physically get on the right train that you need to get on? The classic stations have these green railings and a black sign with white lettering, but many of them are getting a modern look, so they definitely don't all look the same. If you're not sure how to find a stop, They are very clearly marked on Google Maps with this MTA logo, and they aren't always right on the street corner. So you might have to look around the street for a second, but it should be pretty clear. Okay, so once you get to the actual station, how do you know which direction the train is going that you need to get on? For this, it's really important to understand the concept of uptown and downtown. If it's heading toward the top of this map, it's going uptown. And if it's heading toward the bottom of this map, it's heading downtown. However, this can get a bit tricky when the trains turn or if you're not in Manhattan. The trains will often say the direction they're going in, whether it's uptown or downtown, in addition to which borough that train ends in. For example, the announcement will say something like, "This is a Bronx-bound 4 train." This is when it can come in handy to know generally where each borough is, and each of the 5 boroughs are all labeled on this map. So maybe take a minute and kind of study the map and just get a general idea of where they are. Speaking of trains that aren't going just uptown or downtown, if you look at Manhattan, uptown there are very few trains that are going east and west. This means if you're on the Upper West Side or on the Upper East Side, it's often faster to go across Manhattan by using one of the crosstown buses. In downtown, there are 2 main trains that go east-west in the city. One is the L train and the other is the shuttle. The shuttle only runs between 2 stops. The Times Square station on 42nd Street and the Grand Central station also on 42nd Street. Each of these stations are huge hubs, and from them you can get almost any train you need. If you're looking for a station to get on your train, but you're not sure if you're going uptown or downtown, or you're not sure it's the right station, the best thing to do is look on the station sign and see if it says uptown or downtown on it. This is important because if it says uptown or downtown, when you go into the station, you're not going to be able to switch your platform to get on the other side. But if it's an express stop or it doesn't say anything on the sign, then the likelihood that you can switch from uptown to downtown underground is pretty high. Right now I'm at the Bryant Park station, for example, and it doesn't say uptown or downtown, so I know that underground I can figure out which side of the platform I need to be on. But there's a way to figure out which side of the street you should be on to go under if you can't switch underground. I'll show you. The trains run on the right-hand side of the road, just like the traffic does. So if you know you want to go downtown, if you point yourself toward that direction, you'll know that the station you want to go into is on the right-hand side of the road. So you might find yourself on a platform that has a train on either side, and you're going to be wondering which train is the express train and which train is the local train. But a nice little trick for this is if you think about it, the express trains have to go in the middle between the local trains so they can skip certain stops. So the local trains are most likely going to be the ones up against the wall, while the express trains are the ones toward the center of the station. So you can see the platform behind me over here, wall over there, that's the local track. This one right here is between this platform and the other platform. So this is going to be an express train. I also want to say that it is okay to stop and ask for help. I get that it can be scary to be a tourist in a new city, or it can be intimidating to ask someone or embarrassing, but often people are really friendly and really helpful. Everybody gets lost at some point. There's no shame in studying the map. And if you're afraid to ask a stranger, there's info booths at a ton of the stations, and there's usually a worker there you can ask that will give you directions. Even after living in the city for a while, I would still get lost on the system and get confused sometimes. Happens to everyone, whether or not they admit it. From 1904 to 1953, the subway only cost a nickel or 2, but as prices continued to go up and people didn't want to use a bunch of coins, the MTA introduced the New York City Subway tokens. These were in use till the 90s when the Metro card that is very common today, this yellow one, replaced it. The fare for the subway has continued to increase to what it is today, which is $2.90. And as of filming this, you can still get these yellow Metro cards from one of these Metro card dispensers, but they are being phased out in favor of the new Omni payment system. Omni is replacing the swipe to pay for the tap to pay, meaning that you don't have to have a dedicated Omni card for this. You can use any credit card that has RFID, or if your phone can pay wirelessly, you can use your phone. If you don't have a credit card or a cell phone that has tap to pay, or if you just want the physical card, you can go buy them, and they actually cost $5 per card, and then you can load them with money online. There's a bunch of retail locations. I'll provide a link below where you can find one. The way Omni works is that if you tap your credit card, you start a new 7-day period of using that card. You only get charged per ride up to 12 rides, And then after that, each ride is free. This is kind of nice because if you only ride the Metro 5 times during the week, then you only pay for it 5 times. Whereas before, if you bought like a 3-day or 7-day unlimited card, you would have to pay the base level of money regardless of how much you end up using it. One thing that's useful to know if you're traveling with a group is you can only use the same card at one Omni station 4 times in a row. So if you're traveling with more people than that and you intend to pay for everyone with one card, you will either need to use 2 separate credit cards or 2 different Omni cards. Like I said, the current fare for the subway is $2.90, but every so often they bump this and buses cost a different amount. So I won't go into any of the details of that, but all of that's pretty available online. One of the notable exceptions of this is the Staten Island ferry, which is completely free. You don't need a card or anything. It's important to know that because sometimes people will be trying to scam you and charge you. So don't pay to go on the Staten Island ferry. The other notable exception is the JFK Air train from the airport, which is like $8 or $9 for just a single ride. I also want to give a disclaimer that this is how things are supposed to work. There is always construction. There are often obstructions, so make sure you're always looking out for posted signs of express trains running on local tracks or local trains running on express tracks. They're usually really good about announcing this and posting it. They often change on weekends and nights. Make sure to look out for that and listen for that. But if you have the basic understanding of how the system's supposed to work, it makes it much easier to navigate. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Good luck navigating the subway, and I'll see you in another video very soon.